After becoming the #1 recruit in his high school class, Freddy Key committed to Alabama, where he would take over the reins after Bryce Young got drafted. Freddy would then lead this Alabama team to an 11-1 record heading into the SEC championship game, where they would get blown out by 20 to the Georgia Bulldogs. Despite having multiple losses his freshman year, Freddy Key would still finish as a top 5 Heisman candidate and would work all offseason long to better his craft and lead his team to a national championship. Alabama would open up the year ranked #5 in the preseason polls and even feature Freddy Key in the preseason Heisman watch. And after a long offseason and all the pressure on Freddy Key's shoulder, he would be taking on the West Virginia Mountaineers in game #1. In our first play of the season, Freddy Key would take a quarterback play up the middle and get destroyed and get welcome into his sophomore season. Looking to bounce back after a rough start, Freddy Key would escape the pocket after defenders closed on him fastly, and he would scramble all the way down the sideline, and we are already across the 50. Still trying to hit his first pass of the season, he's going to find Ja'Cory Brooks wide open down the sideline, but with a bad pass lead, we couldn't get him in the end zone. Now with it being a 3rd down in the red zone, Freddy Key is going to show off insane playmaking ability and hit Jermaine Burton over the middle for his first touchdown of the season. Our defense would then get a stop, so we're trying to put another touchdown on the board to finally take a lead in this game, and Ja'Cory Brooks was open all game long, and then on this next play, we would hit Prentice, and we were back in the red zone. Now trying to make a play in the red zone, we're trying to find our wide receiver in the deep corner, but underthrowing the ball, Freddy Key would throw his first interception of the season. Our defense would be stellar all first half long, and they would hold West Virginia to 7 points, and we would get the ball back with under a minute left, and Freddy Key's looking to make a play on the ground, and we are back inside the opponent territory. Playing with only one timeout, we got to keep the ball in safe territory, and Prentice is going to play very good this game as well, and we would find our tight end across the middle to take the lead before half. Alabama felt comfortable with getting the ball in the second half, knowing if they can get some points on the board with the way their defense is playing, that this would almost be a game if we can get a double possession lead. After the big wide receiver screen, Freddy Key would get a read option play call his way, and he would juke out 3 different defenders on this play and break out all the way down the sideline for an easy scrambling touchdown, and he is now on fire. With West Virginia scoring and keeping themselves in the game, we need to lead our team to at least chew the clock out or put some more points on the board to close this one out, and Ja'Cory Brooks is going to have a huge catch that will get us in field goal range, and we would take a 10-point lead. That late field goal would ultimately do it for us, and we would have our first win of the season. Looking to continue to build on that, Freddy Key had a dominant performance as well, ending with 250 yards and also 3 total touchdowns. In week 2, we would be taking on an FAU team who currently sits at 0-1, and Freddy Key would have a huge performance against the Owls, throwing multiple first half touchdowns. Even in the second quarter, Freddy Key would have big throws just like this down the middle, and Prentice would go almost all the way, but we would later finish it off on a huge playmaking throw where we would scramble out the pocket and find our tight end wide open for our 4th touchdown of the half. Coach Saban would pull Freddy Key out the game in the second half. After dropping 5 touchdowns in the first half, Freddy Key would go on to win his 2nd player of the game in 2 weeks in a row. Now moving into week 4, after beating a small FCS school, we will be taking on our first ranked opponent in Ole Miss, and Freddy Key is going to start off after having a huge scramble out the pocket. This would be his largest run ever in the college level, dominating all the defenders. It almost felt like Freddy Key was running for his life all game long as this defensive line was going off against our offensive line, and Freddy Key would get sacked for once. Now it's like Freddy is seeing ghosts as he would force a ball through the seams, and it would be his 2nd interception of the season. He would then get thrown to the ground by a defensive lineman, then thrown to the ground again by another defensive lineman. He has to come back with revenge. Now, after dropping a quick 7 points after the crucial turnover, Freddy Key looks to be much better in the second drive, and that's what he's going to do, hitting multiple throws for first down, and he's looking to heat up. After now moving all the way down the field, we would hit Burton on a screen that would later get us inside the 10-yard line, and then Freddy Key, after a play action, would find the tight end wide open, and we would take a 7-point lead. After a rough start to the game, Freddy Key would start to be so accurate in this one, hitting small windows all the way across the field and find wide receivers in the seams, and he would already be back inside the red zone within 2 plays. Now with the chance inside the red zone to take a 2-possession lead before halftime, Freddy Key would find Ja'Cory Brooks wide open in the corner, and now we are starting to move. Ole Miss would score right before halftime and then score after halftime to tie this game on up, and Freddy Key would be seeing ghosts still in this game, and he would throw a 2nd interception. Ole Miss would go on to score a touchdown, but also mix the extra point, so we have a chance to not only score, but to win this game with only a minute and 30 seconds remaining. Freddy Key is going to have a huge run, and we are now in enemy territory. We are trying to score, but also trying to burn some clock, so Freddy Key is going to keep it on the ground and slide inbound so we could chew that off a little bit, but on a 3rd and 10, with only 37 seconds remaining, Freddy Key would find Prentice wide open to take the lead. Luckily, with Ole Miss having 0 timeouts, timeouts. Our defense would stop them, and we would go on to win this game to remain undefeated, and Freddy Key would have his worst game of the season yet with only 200 yards but with 3 touchdowns. Trying to continue our undefeated season, we are going to be taking on the Texas A&M Aggies, who are sitting at 1-3, so this should be a breeze, and then in the second half, we're already up 10 points. This would be one of our best performances yet, as he was already sitting with 3 touchdowns, as he's looking to continue to dominate in the third quarter, even on the ground, making huge plays, breaking tackles, and also picking up easy first downs. Freddy Key could not be stopped at all. With this game not being too significant, having a 10-point lead and already being in the red zone, Freddy Key is going to make a boneheaded mistake, scrambling and taking hit sticks, and he is now down with a severe injury in an already over game. After Freddy Key left the game late in the third quarter, the team would still go on to win, and Alabama still remains undefeated, but Freddy Key would return 2 games later against this Arkansas Razorbacks team. Even after missing a game, Freddy Key did not miss a beat on the football field, as he would find his tight end wide open that would later lead to a sideline dot, and we are already on the board with 7. Although our defense would get scored on, our special teams would get us in prime field position, and all it took was 4 throws to have 2 touchdowns already in this game for Freddy. It wouldn't only be his arm this game, as he would scramble out on this 1st and 10 on our 3rd possession of the game and juke out a defender and swerve in between everybody, and now this would be his largest collegiate run ever in his rookie season and sophomore season combined. Although we had a great first half, Freddy Key is going to make a crucial mistake on the opening drive of the second half. He's going to throw his 3rd interception of the season, and now they are in prime position to go ahead and take this lead even more. Although Freddy Key felt like he was having a great first half, we only have 14 points on the board and are currently trailing by 4. And Arkansas is looking to play great defense, but we are going to find Prentice across the middle on a broken play. It would be Prentice all game long, as we would find him wide open on an out route as well, and we would take that lead right on back. The lead would consistently change all game long, but on this play, we would find our tight end wide open, and once again, we regain that lead. Our defense would get a stop, and being in field goal range, we cannot turn this ball over, so Freddy Key is doing whatever he can to keep this clock moving, and on a 3rd and 4, he's going to break the pocket, scramble everywhere, and complete a first down that would lead to a Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown. Freddy Key would have a great performance all around, tallying around 4 total touchdowns and great yardage on the ground. We are going to be looking outside of the top 5 in the Heisman watch, and we need to have a big game against Auburn. Now that we are later in the season and currently sitting at 11-0 and also ranked number 1 in the nation, Freddy Key and the Alabama Crimson Tide are looking to have a great game against their rival and finish the regular season off strong. Trying to show off his elite playmaking ability, he would be scrambling a lot this game, making a lot of throws on the run, and we would hit Prentice, who would get us inside the 5-yard line. That would later lead to an easy slant to our guy, Ja'Cory Brooks, and we would already be up 7. Our defense would get a stop in great field position, and we would have only 15 yards to go ahead and have to score, and Freddy Key would get us inside the 3-yard line, where we would later find our fullback in the flats for an easy score to take a 2-possession lead. Freddy is on an absolute mission this game, proving to everybody that he should be on that Heisman watch and that he is one of the best, if not the best quarterback in the nation, as he continues to dominate Auburn all game long. Now in prime field position, Freddy Key would hit Ja'Cory Brooks over the middle, and we already have 3 touchdowns in the first half. Alabama would let Auburn come back in this game, and we would only be up 7 now, but we are looking to put more points on the board on this drive, and Freddy Key is going to do it all himself, scrambling out the pocket, making multiple defenders miss him, and he's not done yet. No slide for Freddy Key, as he's going to juke out players and even break a tackle while he heads out of bounds. Trying to cap off an already great drive, Freddy Key would hit a wide receiver wide open in the back of the end zone, and he would now have 4 touchdowns in the first half. In the second half, the first time we would touch the ball would have great field position, and we are looking to score once again to make this a 21-point lead again, and Ja'Cory Brooks is going to get us inside the 5-yard line. Now, after getting inside the 5, we're going to find a wide open Prentice in the back of the end zone on a slant, and we would go on to win this game, having our best game of our college career with 6 total touchdowns. That 6 touchdown performance would lead Freddy Key to be back in the mix of the Heisman, and also this would also carry Alabama to 12-0 as we would make the SEC championship, where we would be taking on the number 4 ranked Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia was the only team that beat us last year by over 10 points, and they did it by 20, so we are looking to get our revenge, and Freddy Key is having a great start already. Alabama's offense is the hottest in the country right now, as we just dominated last game with over 8 total touchdowns as a unit. And in this game, our running back is going to trip us up, but Freddy Key is going to take it all the way in, and we are feeling ourselves early in this championship game. Our defense would get a stop, so we felt like we had to take advantage and at least take a 2-possession lead. And Freddy Key is going to do once again on the ground what he always has done all season long, and also in the air, as he would find Burton wide open. This would be our best drive yet, as we would find another player wide open in the seam and then later toss it over to Jahmyr Gibbs, and we would be on the board at 14-0 against the best defense in the nation. Our defense is very good too, as they are holding this Georgia offense to a shutout early on, and we have a 14-point lead, but Freddy Key is not happy with it yet, as he's going to continue to dominate on his third drive. After having a great game already, Freddy Key was trying to do too much on this throw, as he would force it to the wide receiver sitting in the pylon, and we would throw our first interception of the game. After Georgia would respond with a touchdown, Freddy Key is going to find Prentice wide open in the middle of the field with no defenders near him. He is going to go all the way inside the 10-yard line already. After Prentice's big game, Freddy Key is going to scramble out the pocket and find Ja'Cory Brooks wide open, and we once again have that 14-point lead. Georgia would fight all game long, keeping the game within fighting distance. They are only down 7 in the third quarter, but Freddy Key is going to find a wide receiver wide open on a broken play, and we are once again in the end zone. After the big play to Kendrick Law, Freddy Key would find himself running a read option and outrunning the defender, and we would have another rushing touchdown. Not looking to take our foot off the gas pedal, we're going to hit Ja'Cory Brooks on a huge play that would later lead to another scrambling playmaker throw to Kendrick Law, and we would be once again in enemy territory. Later in this drive, Freddy Key is dropping back looking for an open wide receiver, but he would get destroyed by the defensive tackle, and he is down once again with another bad injury. Freddy Key and the Alabama offense went on to dominate this game, and we still won despite Freddy Key not even touching the field in the fourth quarter. He had a great game against the best defense in the nation with 4 total touchdowns, and we would be moving on to the National College Football Championship. Freddy Key would finish off the season with 207 completions and 3,600 yards while tallying 44 touchdowns, but with all those great stats, he would still find himself losing the Heisman 2 years in a row, finishing in the top 5, and he would finish number 3 this season. The College Football Championship would consist of 2 undefeated teams, and also the Heisman being on Washington. This is a must-win game. With Washington's offense settling for only 3 points, we're looking to put a touchdown on the board and hopefully take this lead in the early first quarter, and we would do so hitting Apprentice across the middle, and we'd already be on their side of the field. Starting off the game hot, Freddy Key is looking to do so on the ground as well, as he would scramble on a passing play and beat the defenders all in a race and juke out the last one and fall forward into the end zone, and that is going to be his most explosive play of the season. Washington would keep on fighting back as they would take the lead right after he scored that touchdown, and we would find our guy wide open behind the defense, and then later have a scrambling play where we would find Ja'Cory Brooks, and we are once again in enemy territory. On this 2nd and 6, Freddy Key is going to do everything he can to try to punch this ball in, having some great pocket, even breaking tackles. He can't do much as they would finally get the sack. After taking back-to-back sacks, Coach Saban would force us to go for it on 4th and 15, and we would take 3 sacks in a row. Luckily, our defense would hold them to 0 points, and we were trying to score with only 38 seconds remaining in the half, and we would have huge plays back-to-back as Freddy Key would find a wide-open touchdown on the left side of the field, and we once again have that lead going into halftime. With not much action happening in this game, almost the 4th quarter and the score remaining the same, Freddy Key is going to try to do too much on this play as he is scrambling, trying to play make, and will throw his first interception of this game, and that is a huge momentum shift. Alabama's defense would hold Washington only 3 points, so all we have to do is either chew this clock on out or score a touchdown and take another huge lead. But in this game, we're picking up multiple first downs, and it's going to be hard for Washington to stop us. We would be able to take all of their timeouts away, and all we got to do is keep the ball in bounds. But right there, we would pick up another first down, and Burton would help us close out the game as he has another huge catch that gets us inside the 5-yard line. After picking up that first down, we were able to kneel the game on out, and Freddy Key would lead Alabama to a perfect season, losing no games at all, and Freddy Key is finally a champion. If you made it this far in the video, make sure you hit that subscribe. We are so close to 2,000, and also hit that like as we're going to be posting so much more RTGs.